Welcome to Investogram, your go-to guide for navigating the world of investment. We are CBAS Financial Consultancy, and today we're diving deep into a company that is not only feeding millions, but doing so with a purpose. Century Pacific Foods Incorporated. If you're curious about businesses that blend innovation, sustainability, and growth, this one is for you. Century Pacific Food, or CNPF, has been a household name in the Philippines for over 4 decades. Starting as a humble tuna exporter in 1978, CNPF has since grown into a powerhouse in the food and beverage industry. Today, its mission is clear: provide affordable, nutritious food to the masses while promoting responsible sourcing and sustainability. But beyond just the numbers, it's their values that make this company stand out. From integrity and humility to a passion for excellence and a focus on teamwork, Century Pacific has built a strong foundation. In 2023 alone, the company posted revenues of 67.1 billion, an impressive figure in today's competitive market. Now let's break down their major product lines. Century Tuna leads the marine segment with an 85% share of the canned tuna market. Their Argentina corned beef brand holds a dominant 52% market share in its category. In the dairy space, Birch Tree and Angel are household names, while newer segments like Unmeat, their plant based alternative, and Goodest, their pet food line, are quickly gaining traction both locally and internationally. Like any successful company, CNPF has some key figures driving their mission forward. Let's First up, we have Christopher T. Poe, the executive chairman with an MBA from Harvard. He has been pivotal in pushing CNPF's international expansion and product diversification strategies. Teodoro Alexander Tipo, President and CEO, brings decades of operational expertise and oversees the company's daily activities. Meanwhile, Gregory Francis H. Banzon, the COO, focuses on growing both domestic and international markets. Last but not the least, Richard Christopher S. Manapat, CFO and Chief Risk Officer, manages the company's financial and risk strategies.
Let's get into what really drives the success of Century Pacific, its business model. We'll use the business model canvas framework to break down how this company creates, delivers, and captures value.
One of CNPF's greatest strengths lies in its partnerships. Locally, they source raw materials such as coconut from smallhold farmers in Mindanao and sardines from fishers in Zamboanga. These relationships help ensure a steady supply of high quality raw materials, supporting both the company's product lines and its commitment to sustainability.
On the international front, CNPF works with major sustainability organizations like the International Seafood Sustainability Foundation or the ISSF, ensuring that their tuna is responsibly sourced. When it comes to retail, CNPF partners with some of the largest players in both global and local markets. In the Philippines, major accounts include SM Supermalls, Robinsons, and Pure Gold, while globally, they work with Walmart, Albertsons, Carrefour, and NTUC FairPrice.
And don't forget their sustainability partners. Collaborations with organizations like Hope for plastic footprint reduction and GCash for digital payment and sustainability initiatives further bolster CNPF's reputation as a forward thinking, responsible company.
So, what are the main activities that drive CNPF success? Well, their operations are anchored in three key pillars: manufacturing, innovation, and sustainability.
With state of the art manufacturing facilities spread across the Philippines, including General Santos for tuna and coconut products, Zamboanga for sardines, and Binyan for meat processing, CNPF operates on a massive scale. But manufacturing isn't all. They're continuously innovating. For example, they developed Unmeat, a plant based alternative that's gaining ground in global markets, and Goodest, a new line of affordable pet food.
And let's not overlook their dedication to sustainability. CNPF has invested heavily in renewable energy with solar powered facilities in General Santos and water reclamation projects in Zamboanga City. These initiatives don't just cut costs, they also help reduce companies' environmental footprint. What really makes CNPF stand out is their value proposition, delivering affordable, high quality nutrition across a diverse product range, all while maintaining a strong focus on sustainability.
The company's products cater to a wide range of customer segments. For example, Century Tuna targets health conscious individuals looking for protein rich, low fat options. Argentina corned beef is a favorite among budget conscious Filipino families, while Birch Tree appeals to mothers and families looking for nutritious dairy products. Their new plant based brand Unmeat taps into the growing trend of plant based eating, and Goodest offers affordable, quality pet food to pet owners.
Let's move on to the resources and channels that help CNPF deliver its products to millions of consumers. Their key resources include their large manufacturing network and human capital, spread across several facilities in General Santos, Zamboanga, Binyan, and their headquarters in Taguig.
But the channels through which CNPF delivers its products are just as important. Their products are sold in over 144,000 retail points across the Philippines, including major grocery chains like SM, Pure Gold, Robinsons, Landers, and S&R. They've also embraced e-commerce, selling through platforms like Lazada and Shopee locally, and Walmart and Albertsons internationally.
Now let's talk about how the financial side of things works. In terms of cost structure, CNPF's biggest expense is in raw materials, which make up about 85% of their total cost. This includes tuna, meat, coconut, and dairy. Labor costs account for about 4%, with the rest allocated to marketing, distribution, and sustainability initiatives.
On the revenue side, branded sales make up the bulk of their earnings. In 2023, CNPF's marine products like Century Tuna brought in 21.1 billion pesos, while meat products like Argentina corned beef generated 14.7 billion pesos. Their dairy brands, including Birch Tree and Angel, accounted for 19.3 billion pesos. What's exciting is the growth in their emerging categories. Unmeat contributed 6% of total revenue, while Goodest accounted for 3%.
Now, we'll be diving into the financial health of Century Pacific Foods, CNPF, and stacking them up against a key competitor, Pure Foods or SMFB. Buckle up because this comparison is going to give us a clearer picture of how these two industry leaders perform head to head.
Let's kick things off with revenue. In 2023, CNPF posted an impressive 67.1 billion, marking an 8% growth from 2022. This boost comes from their expanding product portfolio and stronger international presence in categories like plant-based food.
By comparison, Pure Foods SMFB also delivered solid performance, but their revenue growth has been slower. Driven by more traditional products and higher operational costs, SMFB posted a 6.96% return on assets in 2023 compared to CNPF's 11.12%, showing CNPF's better asset utilization. When it comes to profitability, CNPF also has the upper hand. Their net margin sits at 8.31%, up from last year, supported by stable commodity prices and strong contributions from high margin products like unmeat.
SMFB's net margin of 6.55% reflects a more traditional product mix that includes meat and dairy, which are costlier to produce. CNPF, with its diversified portfolio, including high margin plant based food, is clearly capitalizing on new consumer trends.
Now, let's talk liquidity. CNPF boasts a current ratio of 2.5x, significantly higher than SMFB's 1.32x. Similarly, CNPF's quick ratio of 1.13x outshines SMFB's of 0.87x, meaning CNPF has a stronger short-term liquidity position.
That is a clear indication that CNPF has more cash and near cash assets on hand to meet immediate obligations, giving it the flexibility to seize growth opportunities faster than SMFB.
On the debt side, CNPF remains conservatively leveraged with a debt to equity ratio of 0.24x. SMFB, on the other hand, has a significantly higher 0.87x debt to equity ratio.
CNPF's lower reliance on debt means they're operating with less financial risk, while SMFB's high leverage could lead to greater volatility and tougher economic conditions.
Lastly, in terms of efficiency, CNPF continues to lead. Their investments in renewable energy and waste reduction have reduced energy costs by over 36%, boosting their operational efficiency.
This means CNPF generates more revenue per peso of assets, while SMFB's more capital intensive operations hold them back slightly in this area.
In summary, Century Pacific Foods is leading the charge with better revenue growth, higher profitability, stronger liquidity, and more conservative debt levels compared to Pure Foods. It's clear that CNPF's strategic investments in sustainability and innovations are paying off.
Now that we've compared Century Pacific Foods with Pure Foods, let's look ahead and see what the next 5 years might bring for CNPF based on their current trajectory. CNPF's 5 year forecast is built on a strong foundation, historical performance from the past 5 years, alongside quarterly data. What makes CNPF stand out is their strategic focus on expanding product lines and breaking into new international markets.
This forward looking approach is not just about expanding existing products like canned tuna and corned beef. It's also about maximizing growth in newer segments like plant based alternatives and pet food. These are emerging stars of the next 5 years.
Let's break down the numbers. CNPF's revenue is projected to grow at an average of 10% annually, which will bring them close to 158 billion pesos by 2029.
This growth will be driven by Century Tuna and Argentina corned beef, but more importantly, by rising contributions from unmeat and goodest. These two segments alone are expected to grow by 20% annually and will significantly impact the company's overall performance.
Operating expenses are expected to stabilize over the next 5 years, thanks to ongoing efficiency improvements. These improvements include investments in logistics and energy consumption. CNPF continues to prioritize renewable energy, especially in its tuna and coconut production facilities.
With a focus on reducing energy dependence on traditional sources, CNPF is set to lower manufacturing costs. This will help maintain profitability even as they ramp up production in emerging categories.
Speaking of profitability, CNPF's net income is expected to grow in line with revenue as gross margins improve due to operational efficiencies. Over the next 5 years, CNPF's move into higher margin categories like plant based food and pet products will boost their bottom line even further. Now, no forecast is complete without considering a few different scenarios. Let's walk through three possibilities for CNPF's future.
In the base case, CNPF continues to grow steadily. We're looking at consistent market traction in their core segments, particularly in the Philippines and North America, with plant based foods and pet products gradually gaining market share. In the best case scenario, CNPF accelerates its growth by making key partnerships with global retailers and ramping up marketing efforts. This scenario would result in faster than expected expansion in international markets and a stronger global presence for products like unmeat. Finally, the worst case scenario. CNPF may face headwinds from commodity price volatility or unfavorable currency fluctuations. While this would impact margins, CNPF's strong balance sheet and cost control strategies should help mitigate the risks.
So there you have it, a 5 year outlook for Century Pacific Foods. With strong growth projections and a diversified product portfolio, CNPF is positioning itself for long-term success. Whether they stay on base path or exceed expectation with faster global expansion, the future looks bright.
As we wrap our analysis of Century Pacific Foods, it's clear that CNPF is positioned as a strong player in the food and beverage industry. With consistent revenue growth, solid profitability, and strategic investments in sustainability and innovation, the company has laid a solid foundation for future success. One of CNPF's standout strengths is its strong balance sheet. The company maintains low leverage, giving it financial flexibility to navigate market challenges. With expanding market presence, particularly in plant based and pet food segments, CNPF is well on its way to capitalizing on consumer trends. But like any investment, there are some considerations to keep in mind. While CNFP's fundamentals are solid, the stock's potential could be tempered by global market volatility and commodity price fluctuations. That said, their focus on international expansion and the growth of high margin segments like plant based foods offer significant upside potential for the long term. So, our recommendation? It's a hold for now. If you're an investor looking for long term growth in an industry leading company with a clear focus on sustainability and innovation, CNPF might just be one to keep an eye on. And that's it for today's episode of Investogram, your snapshot to the world of financial investment. Thanks for joining us, and as always, stay tuned for more snapshots into the world of investments.